This is my book, The Mirror of Motivation, the self-guide, the self-discipline for you to find that drive and ambition in your life that you want to tap into. Get this book free. Go to the link below and I'll ship it to you worldwide.
DreAllDay.com.
Dre Baldwin with DreAllDay.com. I did a post on Instagram a couple days ago where I said, it was a quote meme post, on my own quote, where I said, productivity hack, instant hack is to stop trying to be friendly. And someone left a comment and said, Dre, could you please make a YouTube video on this subject? And I said, that's actually a good idea. So this is the video here. And the essence of that quote, that idea, is that if you think about in your own life, I know this definitely applies to me. I've heard other people say it. I've heard it said about other people, and you could think if it applies to you, that whenever you're trying to get something done and it's not quite working the way that you want it to, things are not moving at the pace you want them to go, or maybe you're trying and you're putting all the effort in, but you're just not quite getting the results and it's just not satisfactory to you. We all at some point, and it's different levels for different people, we all at some point get to that breaking point. It's not that not the breaking point that we quit, but the breaking point where we like, fuck this. I'm tired of this shit not working. I'm tired of putting in the effort and doing what I'm supposed to do, but it's not turning over the way that I wanted to. I'm still gonna get it done, but I feel like I need to take this to a different level. And nothing changes about what we're actually doing. What changes is our energy, the energy behind what we're doing. And all of you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you're an athlete, you know what this feels like. If you're in business, you probably know what it feels like. If you're anything that you do, we all can get to this point in anything that we do in life. And what happens is we get a little bit pissed off, right? We get a little bit annoyed, a little bit perturbed. You might call it angry. You might call it impatient. You might call it frustrated. We have different ways of languaging it, but it's the exact same energy where it's like, all right, I've been trying to do it this way. It's not working. I'm still going to get it done, but I'm going to do it this way now. And you put a little bit more energy behind it. And all of a sudden, things start working. All of a sudden, the people who were dragging their feet start moving like they're actually alive. The people who were pushing you off and adding time to your situation and wasting your time, all of a sudden they start getting things done the way that you want them done. All of a sudden, the questions that weren't getting answered, now you're getting direct, clear answers to all those questions. All of a sudden, the calls that weren't being answered, people are answering those phones. They're actually calling you. You don't even have to call them. All of a sudden, everything starts working the way that you want it to. And if you think about it in that moment, or maybe after the moment, you say to yourself, damn, if I could bottle up this energy and approach my work like this every time or every day, shit, I would get a whole lot done. Everyone's watching this knows exactly what I'm talking about. And when we get into that zone, things start happening. I heard a rapper by the name of Styles P from the rap group The Lox. He said once, when you're a nice person and you're friendly and you get along with everybody, people will drag their feet and take advantage, generally speaking, and I agree with that. And then he said, but when you're kind of wild and you're willing to bust people's heads open, metaphorically, hopefully, shit gets done. And that's just a fact of life. And any of you, not even thinking of yourself, but think of a boss or a parent or a coach or a teacher that you've had in life, who they were the type of person who didn't take no shit. And some of you might have grown up with somebody like that. Maybe you work with someone who's like that right now, or work for someone who is like that. Maybe you're that type of person. It's hard to see it in ourselves. Well, we can see it in ourselves, but it's hard to gauge for ourselves. But think of someone you dealt with who fit that description. That person who doesn't take no shit, usually they get shit done. Usually people don't lollygag and bullshit when they're around that person because they know it's not going to be tolerated. But when we get around a person who's friendly, who's nice, who's accepting, who is compromising, what happens? People bullshit, people drag their feet, people waste time, people don't do what they're supposed to do, and then they get away with it. And it's the same thing with us. When you bullshit, when you're a nice, friendly, agreeable, compromising person, I'm not to say that you shouldn't be this type of person ever in life. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. But when people sense this in you, they will slowly, sometimes unconsciously, and sometimes in a very subtle way, they'll not go as hard as they need to be going, or as hard as they could be going. But when you're a person who doesn't take no shit, and you're a person who will bust somebody's head open, metaphorically speaking, people don't fuck around. People don't bullshit. People don't waste time. They know that when they're around you, things better be done. Think about when you were in school, or if you are in school. If the teacher, the normal teacher, whoever it is out sick one day and you get a substitute teacher, what did we do? Think of like elementary school or middle school. Whenever we knew the main teacher wasn't there that day and we had a substitute, we all look around like, all right, today is like a party day, right? We gonna bullshit around today because the main teacher's not here. We could do whatever we want with the substitute. We gonna walk all over this substitute teacher. And usually that's exactly what happened. But then when the main teacher came back the next day, everybody was sitting at their desk quietly, hands folded, doing what you're supposed to do. Because the main teacher, some main teachers, not all of them, but some of the main teachers, most of the main teachers, I would say, at least when I was growing up, you couldn't do that in class. You would get in some serious trouble. They had you, intimidated enough that you knew who to bullshit with and who not to bullshit with. And all of you, again, you know what I'm talking about. So hopefully this addresses that topic of, if you want to be, so anyway, the original topic that I wrote on Instagram was, this is a productivity hack. If you want to get more things done, it doesn't even have to be about other people. It's not even about what everybody else is doing. It's really about how you're looking at yourself. And one of the topics that I've talked about on my podcast, if you're not subscribed to my podcast, I do put the videos on YouTube, but it sounds better if you listen to it, the actual podcast. It's on Apple Podcasts, it's on Spotify, SoundCloud, all of those. If you listen to the audio, it sounds better than the video, just because of the mic setup. But anyway, when you stop negotiating with yourself, this is a topic that I did on my podcast. Negotiating with yourself means when you tell yourself, I'm gonna get up at 8 o'clock, then your alarm goes off at 7:55, and you still laying in bed looking at motherfucking Instagram because you're negotiating with yourself. But if you had a boss who said, get up at 7:55 or get up at 8 o'clock, you wouldn't bullshit. You wouldn't be fucking around on your phone. You would just do what you were told to do. Why? Because you respect that person's word. So it starts with ourselves. When we respect our own word enough, and we respect what we're supposed to do for ourselves enough, we don't bullshit. And when you're that type of person with yourself, other people see that and they won't bullshit with you. So it starts with you and then it goes out to everybody else who you deal with. And if you're in the business world trying to sell your products or get a deal done or whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, when people know that you're not going to take any bullshit, they won't bring any bullshit. It's as simple as that. So hopefully this addresses that topic and gives some of you some ideas that you could take from this and address. And if you haven't gotten my book, The Mirror Motivation, for free yet, go to workonmygame.com. Workonmygame.com/motivation. Get that book for free. I got you. Just take care of the shipping. I'll ship it to you worldwide, anywhere you live. Work on your game. DreAllDay.com.